What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to part 3 of Let's Play Super Mario 64. In the last part, we have conquered the entirety of Whomp's Fortress, and we also did 3 of the Castle Secret Stars. We did both the Slide Stars, and we unlocked the Wing Cap and got the star there. Now, in this part, I have finally fixed all of my controls, so the C right should work too now. So that's actually very good. And I also fixed the little problem with the screen cutting up, or cutting off much rather, at the top a little bit, because as we saw in the last part, the power meter was a little cut off at the top, and that shouldn't happen anymore today. So the next one we are going to visit is over here. For this door, for the first time ever, you actually need 3 stars to enter it, so we should have more than enough. We're at 14 stars, unlock this door, and step inside. This world is a water world, and also just really quick note right here, the fish tanks in the Starry Night Sky look so much better in this texture pack. I say it a lot, but this texture pack is just so good and so much better than the original textures. It always catches me off guard when I play the game again. But yeah, let's go into it. Ouch, did not meet the monk. This is course number 3, Jolly Roger Bay. Plunder in the sunken ship. The plan today... Oh my god, just listen to the music for a second before I keep talking. This is probably my favorite track in the entire game, and that is because it makes you feel good. I don't know what it is about this track, but everyone will agree with me when they say that, or when I say that this track is probably the best that Mario 64 has to offer. It's just such a good vibe, and it can lift your spirits easily if you're down and you listen to this and you feel better instantly. What I was talking about, the plan for today is that I only do 1 or 2 stars in here before I get into a much bigger mission, and that is collecting the 100 coin stars in Bob-omb Battlefield and in this level right here. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I want to do today, and the rest of the stars we get today is just a bonus. Another cannon right here that we have to find the pink Bob-omb for, and this is the first time you actually swim in this game, and I have to say the graphics here look instantly a lot better than the original as well. Just the sand and everything, and the little rhythm that comes or that adds towards the music when you get into the water, it's just beautiful. The way swimming works in this game is you just press A and Mario will do a stroke, and you swim the absolute fastest if you press A in a certain rhythm. You can also hold A to do a little puddle, but this is very, very slow. And you grab with B. The first thing we have to do is get into this ship, but there's a needle in there. Now this is another one of those stars that's really complicated if you don't know what to do. All you really have to do is like swim in front of the eel for a little bit and make him see you, then swim back to the top, and when you go back down, the eel is not going to be inside of his hole anymore. I don't know what exactly triggers the eel to go out of it, but if he sees Mario, just swim back to the top. Inside of the shipwreck, we now have 4 chests, and we have to open them in a specific order. If you don't open them in the order they're supposed to be open, I can show you guys. You will get shocked, and you will lose 1 health. So definitely open them in the correct order, and you also get a bubble if you do, so you can heal. Correct order is front one first, then left, then right, and then immediately the one behind you guys. That is the correct order. Now if you swim fast enough here, you don't have to do the jump and run across these platforms, which really shouldn't be a problem. There you go. But even just inside of the ship, it just looks so good. Like the algae and everything. It just looks so nice. And then the star is just sitting in the box again. There's a lot of stars that just sit in boxes in this game, which is kind of like boring, I suppose. At least for some. Um, this star in particular is a little different because you have to do a lot of it, a lot of stuff before you even think about getting it. Right. So the next thing we're going to do is collect 100 coins in this level. So you guys can see me explore a little bit, and I actually have brought up a subject for this because we're doing it in 2 worlds at the same time. So I have a little something to talk about. What I wanted to talk about is how I even got to playing this game and why I like it so much and why I chose this as my first Let's Play. And kind of talk about the Nintendo 64 history that I have, and you guys can share yours too if you want in the comments, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I chose this game to be my first Let's Play because I always feel like this is my favorite Nintendo game. I can never really choose exactly, but this is probably my favorite Mario game of all time, just because it has something magical to it. Also, quick tip, the red coins, or some of the red coins, are inside these clamps. If you get close to them, they will open up so you can grab the red coin out of them. I've always felt very connected to this game. When I was a kid, I played the DS version a lot. Also, the pink bubble is just right here to open the cannon, and you should really do that because you need it for a star later on. Yeah, I played the DS version a lot when I was really young, so I started with Mario 64 DS, basically, and then once I started to grow a little bit older, I realized that Mario 64 DS isn't actually the first time Mario 64 was released, if you could say it like that. And I learned about the Nintendo 64 original through a Let's Play I saw on YouTube. And ever since then, I've always wanted it. So one day I had a birthday, I think, or I can't remember if it was a birthday or if it was Christmas, but I actually think it was a birthday. And we found like a retro store in near where I lived. So I, smart kid I am, wished a Nintendo 64 for my birthday with Super Mario 64 included. And I did actually get it. And ever since then, I've just loved this game. Of course, I played the PAL version on the Nintendo 64. I have a PAL Nintendo 64. So I always grew up with the game being a little bit slow. But that's because the PAL versions just are slower. Also, there's a cave here you should absolutely go into. It is needed for the 100 coins because there's going to be another thing in here that I haven't showed you guys yet. Watch out for those falling rocks, by the way. They can crush you really easily. And also, this is the first time we see a green box that is not lit up yet because we haven't found the palace yet. But we will do that in the near future, or sometime in the future. Maybe not near, but sometime. So yeah, that's how I got to play Super Mario 64 for the first time, like the original, because I didn't own a PC at the time, so I couldn't emulate the game if I wanted to. So, like playing it on a real hardware, will you come here and die? Give me the coin. Playing it on real hardware was like my only choice I had, and so actually playing it for the first time was really nice. And that's how I got to my Nintendo 64. And this is the feature that I haven't told you guys about yet. This is a blue coin switch. You may have seen me press one already in the second part when I collected the 100 coins in Whomp's Fortress, but I didn't explain what it was. So the blue coin switch, if you ground pound on it, will reveal a couple of blue coins somewhere in the level, and they're always set on the same spot. So if you know out of the back of your head where they're gonna be, this is really easy. And you always get a lot of coins out of it. And for most levels that have a blue coin switch, it is actually required to get the blue coin switch, or you're not going to be able to get the 100 coin star. Where was I? Nintendo 64, pass, right. So I now had a Nintendo 64, and I was able to play... Ouch. This fucking rude asshole. I was able to play Nintendo 64 games now. So obviously I didn't just stop with Mario 64, no. I had to get the other classics too. Mario Kart 64, I had to get Zelda Ocarina of Time, Donkey Kong 64, and all the other great platformers that the Nintendo 64 had to offer. Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie and everything around that. That was close. Also, because we now, I guess, rescued the treasure of the cursed pirate, as you can see by this chest right here. The ship is now not sunken anymore, and it's actually on the surface, just chilling. And you have to get up here because there's 3 whole red coins up here. Crazy, I know. So I didn't just stop with Mario 64, I got all the other classics too, and that is kind of how, like, my history with the N64 came to be, I guess. And to this day, the Nintendo 64 is probably my favorite console. It has some of my favorite games, Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, and Tooie. Even though I like Banjo-Kazooie a little more than Banjo-Tooie, I can't lie. Always thought Banjo-Kazooie was more beginner-friendly because Banjo-Tooie is actually really hard to 100%. So I always enjoyed Banjo-Kazooie a little more, but both of the games are great. Donkey Kong 64, as I said, both of the Zelda games that were in the Nintendo 64 era, just amazing. And that is how the Nintendo 64 kind of became my favorite console. Now, collecting the 100 coins in Bob-omb Battlefield is going to be a little bit more of a challenge because, as I've already shown you in part 1, I think, as we were on top of the flying island, there is a lot of coins in the air, and to my knowledge, you actually have to get some of the coins in the air to be able to get 100 coins. So it is absolutely necessary to get the wing cap, or not absolutely necessary. If you're crazy and stupid at the same time, you can just shoot yourself into the rings without having the wing cap a couple of times, or a lot of times for that matter. So you collect coins gradually, one by one, but that just takes ages and is not appropriate for a Let's Play where I don't want to be stuck on a star for 25 minutes. So we're not doing it that way. We're using the wing cap. As you can see right here, the red boxes now are complete, and we can actually obtain a wing cap out of those. Another fun fact, in the world that we were just in, Jolly Roger Bay, world number 3, the max amount of coins is actually 104. So, like, collecting all of the coins in there is insanely difficult, and you basically have to know where every coin is, because if you don't, you're just screwed. But yeah, collecting the coins otherwise is usually pretty easy. There's some stages where it's hard, but normally it's not a hustle. This is also a new enemy, or new enemy, it's a Koopa, but we've only met Koopa the Quick so far, not the normal Koopa. He only appears after mission 2, I want to say, after beating Koopa the Quick. And you can actually kill them as well if you, well, I missed. If you jump on Mario, if you hit them, will you come here? Oh my god. This guy just does not want to die. Can you die? Right, so if you hit them, they will drop their shell, then frantically run around to try and grab them. But you can actually jump on top of the shell and start sliding around. It is the same music that plays when you have the wing cap, also one of my favorite tracks in the game. But as you already saw, killing a Koopa will grant you a blue coin. I usually enjoy... Ouch, I got bombed. I usually enjoy riding around on the Koopa shell, but in this level it's not really necessary. And also kind of distracting from the fact that I need the 100 coins, don't hit me! Go away. Oh right, something funny I wanted to show you guys. I forgot it in the first part. You can actually grab the Bob-omb and throw it at the chain chomp. And if you do, this will happen. I missed. How am I just terrible at this game? I finished it in under 3 hours once. Come here. So if you throw it at the chain chomp, this will happen. Boom! And he just gets blown up into the air and gets a mild concussion and doesn't know where the fuck he is. and just starts attacking everybody. No, just kidding. He will regain consciousness really quick and attack you again, but I think it's funny to show that they actually thought about that and gave him an animation for being blown up. Always thought that was funny, because you can't beat him that way. You can't just blow him up to get the star. You actually have to set him free. But it's still funny that they added that. If you think these stumps are actually only for decoration, you would be wrong as well. Because, again, this is something that I have no idea how anybody would have figured it out in 1996. But, if you run around them a couple of times, 5 coins will literally shoot out of the pole. How are you supposed to figure this out? I don't fucking know. I don't really want to know. It's probably something that every player has only figured out because there's a Mario 64 guide back in the day. I actually own that one. I bought the guide a couple of weeks ago, and it's actually... I learned something from that guide that I didn't know before, which we will get to in a lot later part. But otherwise, other than that, the guide is just... It's cool to look at, but it's pretty useless when it comes to info. There's a red coin down here, trapped together with the bomb. And the last 2 red coins we have already, or one of the last 2 red coins we've already seen in the previous part. One of them is on top of the hill, or not on top of the hill, on top of the flying island, and the other one is right here. Sliding down this slope will grant you one. Maybe now that my camera actually works, I can show you this that I wanted to show you in the first episode. There you go, that's how you get up there. I fucked it up in the first episode because my camera angle was just horrible. But it was much better now, so I was able to do it. 86 coins is actually really... That's actually a lot. I thought it was way less that you could get without going into the air. You might not even have to fly a lot. This is the last red coin, just up here in the tree. And... how many is that in a ring? It's 9, right? So we need 3 more. Yeah, well, I'll get 3 by flying. I don't even have to go into the cannon, I can just fly around here. And we should have enough with this last string. So it is necessary to grab some of the coins in the air, but it's not necessary to grab a lot. Most people just skip killing Goombas and Bob-ombs to get coins and just go into the air to fly, but... I mean... it's really not. I don't really like going into the air to get the coins. Da, 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 da. 19 stars. And 2 of the most annoying red coin missions done. Yay. I'm gonna go continue in Jolly Roger Bay, because that was actually the plan for today, to do a little bit more in Jolly Roger Bay than just 1 star, but I yapped a lot and took my time with the 100 coins. So we're actually almost already done with the part. I'll just do a couple more stars, like 2 or 3, and then I'm gonna finish for today. Candy Eel come out to play. This star is just basically the same thing you had to do in star number 1. You have to bait out the eel. Only with the only difference that the eel is now in a very, very different spot. He's not inside of the ship anymore, because the ship is now floating, for 1. And he retreated back into his home, which is this hole right here. And he likes to eat Mario, so you just have to bait him out like this. And then stay in his area so he doesn't go back into his hole. And then just kind of wait for him to swim out. And then you have to grab the star while he's swimming out. So he loses it and you can grab it for yourself. Come here. Star number 20. We are 1/6 of the way there. Also, Can the Eel come out to play is an obvious reference to Can Spider-Man come out to play, which was from the comics back in the day, because the movie wasn't released yet, but from the Marvel comics. We'll do 2 more stars. Yeah, we'll do 2 more. Treasure of the Ocean Cave. We were already inside of the cave, but not for long, and I didn't show you where the star was. I was just in there to collect coins, but now we have to go in there a second time to get the star in there. Because, as you could have guessed before when I was in there, of course there's a star there. And you already see a star right here, but I'm gonna talk about that, I think, in the next part. Because I'm gonna do the last 2 stars that we can actually get, because we can't get that star yet. So I'm going to head back into the cave. I actually never read this sign. What does it say? Keep out. That means you. Arr. Anyone entering this cave without permission will meet certain disaster. Which is probably in reference to Jesus. In reference to these. Or the Goomba wrote that sign. If it was the Goombas, that's not very menacing, because I can just kick them around. But I think it's in reference to the falling rocks here. Ouch. Anyway, one of you, or 1-2 of you, may have already spotted this with a keen eye. There's another chest puzzle here, but I want to read the sign actually. I've never read this sign. Ahoy, mighty! I have sunken treasure here, I do. But to pluck the plunder, you must open the treasure chests in the right order. What order is that, you say? I'll never tell. The captain. I actually don't know how you're supposed to figure out the order. I just know it. It's top. Okay, now I cannot embarrass myself. It's left? Okay. Top, left, right, and bottom. Hello? I don't know if you find out what the order is on some random sign, or if you just have to guess. But if you played the game multiple times, you just like kind of remember. It's not that hard. It's just up, left, right, down. One more star. And for this we need the cannon. Blast to the stone pillar. This might be a little difficult for new players to figure out what it is. Actually, let's read the signs here. Maybe it says the code. Special caps in red, green, and blue blocks. Step on the blah 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 blah. Then not this one. Attention, read before diving in. If you stay under the water for too long, you'll run out of oxygen. Return to the surface for air, or find an air bubble or coins to breathe while underwater. Press A to swim, blah 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 blah. It doesn't tell you jack shit. So you just have to guess, I guess. Anyway, so we opened the cannon during the 100 coin mission, and now we actually need it. Because we have to blast to the very left stone pillar. At the very top, Mario can actually grab on like it's a pole. Ugh, okay, Jesus, I just thought I missed it. And from this, I actually don't know if you can grab onto the other ones. I'll try. Oh, you can! Okay, I never knew that. I thought you could only grab onto the left one. But from these pillars, you can jump onto this platform, and the star will be inside of the box. Yippee! Star number 22. Blast to the stone pillar. Save and continue. With this, we actually only have 1 star left, but we're already at the end of part number 3. We're actually a little over 20 minutes actually, because I always want to keep my parts a little, like, about 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. I feel like that's a good length. So I'm going to have to say goodbye for now. In the next part, we are going to finish Jolly Roger Bay. We're also going to finish Bob-omb Battlefield, and we're going to see what adventure awaits us in world number 4. So as always, thank you so much for watching and tuning in, and I hope you guys are going to be here for the next video, and bye-bye!